Greetings, travelers, and welcome to Geronimo Draws. In this episode, I would like to discuss Judith Beheading Holofernes by Caravaggio. Completed in 1599, the scene depicts a biblical episode from the Book of Judith, in which a Jewish widow slays an Assyrian general to protect her town from invasion. After General Holofernes sieges the city of Bethulia, Judith seduces him in his tent, and while he is sleeping from intoxication, she beheads him, resulting in the demoralization and eventual defeat of the Assyrian army. Quote, "She put on sandals and all her finest jewelry, rings and earrings and bracelets on her wrists and ankles. She made herself so beautiful that she was sure to attract the attention of any man who saw her. There was great commotion in the Assyrian camp as news of Judith's arrival spread from tent to tent. Many Assyrian soldiers came and stood around her. They were greatly impressed by her beauty and wondered what kind of people the Israelites were. On the fourth day of Judith's stay in the camp, Holofernes gave a banquet for his highest-ranking officers. Everyone was tired because the banquet had lasted so long. All the guests and servants were now drunk, and Judith and Holofernes were alone in the tent. Judith stood by Holofernes' bed and prayed silently. "O Lord God Almighty, help me with what I'm about to do for the glory of Jerusalem. Now is the time to rescue your chosen people, and to help me carry out my plan to destroy the enemies who are threatening us." Judith went to the bedpost by Holofernes' head and took down his sword. She came closer, seized Holofernes by the hair of his head, and said, "O Lord, God of Israel, give me strength now." Then Judith raised the sword and struck him twice in the neck, as hard as she could, chopping off his head. She rolled his body off the bed, and she came out and gave Holofernes' head to her slave, who put it in the food bag. End quote. When Judith returned to Bethulia, she was hailed a hero. She remained unmarried and continued to live a life of piety and devotion. There have been many depictions of this biblical story, but Caravaggio's painting emphasizes the horror of the act. The figures are positioned in the immediate foreground of an interior rendered in only the barest detail. The composition is so enclosed that neither the viewer's eye nor the actors themselves can escape its brutal focus. The dark, dramatic lighting accentuates the violent action taking place. Judith and her maidservant have entered the tent of Holofernes, who lies drunk on his bed. With her left hand, Judith seizes the Assyrian general by the hair and is in the process of severing his head from his body with his own sword, held in her right hand. We witness the Assyrian general writhing and screaming in agony as Judith stands resolute and determined, slicing through his neck. She appears cold and focused as the blade cuts through flesh and bone. Blood spurts in broad streams from his throat, the vivid red color accentuated by the crimson curtain above the figures, emphasizing the violence on display. Beside Judith, her maidservant is depicted in profile, watching with great anticipation while holding the dark sack in which she will later place Holofernes' head. Judith Beheading Holofernes is a compelling narrative of heroism. This story serves as a testament to courage, faith, and the triumph of virtue over evil. Thank you for watching.